Colbyjack.net is proud to present From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. The people of the fire, the Blesa, led by their queens, have ruled the island of Alfeyju and oppressed the Driva, the people of the ice, for more than 16 generations. With the Drivian King in hiding and little hope on the horizon, the Driva looked to one person to save them from the vile Blesa, the Diviana. According to legend, the divinely gifted Diviana will one day overthrow the Blesa and restore the Drivian King to his rightful throne. But with the search having lasted for more than 400 years, will the Diviana ever come to light? Willow is the slave of the Raskpil family. Bought at the age of 4, 20 years have passed since her life irrevocably changed. Her existence is no worse than any other slave, but within, Willow wonders if there isn't something more she should be doing with her life other than serving the ungrateful. Ordered to travel with her master's family to Sondertoft, so her master's adult children can take part in an ancient rite of passage, Willow is shocked when she learns that she too must participate. Will she fail, as all before her have? Will she rise to the challenge and become stronger after passing through the flames? Episode 63, Chapter 36, Below the Sea. The storm crept upon the crew of the Faroof as they tried to find a place to land for the night.
"How much farther is it until we reach Radkar?"
Kalina asked Hawk as the sun began to set.
"We should be close,"
he answered in a distracted voice. His attention was on the skies and the seas.
"How many days is close? You said we were close 2 days ago, and we're still not there."
"The morning. We'll be there in the morning, if this storm doesn't hinder us,"
he said, walking over to the other side of the ship.
"We've got to get to shore,"
Sigurd said, hurrying over to Hawk.
"Don't you see the size of these waves and those skies? Why aren't we on land yet?" "Where did those clouds come from?"
Willow asked, entering into the conversation.
"It didn't look this bad a few minutes ago, did it?"
"Everyone be quiet,"
Hawk ordered.
"I know we need to get off the water, and none of your comments are helping. Get out of my way."
Hawk left, yelling orders to Asrin, Natsol, and Lofn. "We need to get on land," Val said urgently.
We know,
Willow responded, staggering as a large wave crashed into the side of the ship.
"Everyone below deck,"
Hawk ordered.
"This is no normal storm,"
Val said as Willow, Kalina, and Sigurd rushed toward the steps that led below deck.
"What do you mean, no normal storm?"
Willow asked, trying to keep her balance on the moving set of stairs and not panic as water poured over the railing of the ship onto the deck. "Do you remember when we first met and you had just finished creating that boat? I mentioned how—"
"Stop stalling and spill!"
Willow yelled as a loud crack of thunder echoed throughout the ship.
"Or be quiet!"
Kalina stared at Willow.
"Who are you?"
"Val," Willow answered, stumbling into some barrels.
"Sea monster,"
Val said.
"Sea what?"
"Sea monster," Val repeated.
"I told you they were a problem in my time. They always come out when the sky looked like death and the sea was ready to eat ships." "Sea monsters? I told you they don't exist."
"They do," Val stressed. To punctuate his point, a horrible, bone-rattling noise, indescribable in nature, surrounded the ship and its crew.
"What was that?"
Sigurd yelled from where he'd fallen.
"Stay here,"
Willow ordered as she ran back to the stairs.
"Both of you,"
she added when Kalina started after her.
"Sea monsters," Willow muttered to himself. "Val must be wrong."
"I'm not, but don't worry. You can defeat it," Val said as they went topside. A wave of cold water engulfed Willow before she could respond, soaking her to the bone. Sputtering, Willow ran to the main mast.
"I couldn't stop those ships from following us. How do you expect me to defeat a sea monster?"
She wrapped her arms around the mast as another huge wave hit the ship, sending a man, Natsol, to his knees. A second later, he was on his feet running off, never noticing Willow.
"You were weakened from your injuries and the other magic you'd used that day. Today you are refreshed and can harness all your energy to stop the beast, Val said. Where is this beast? All I see is the sea trying to destroy us. A dazzling flash of lightning lit up the sky, followed by the boom of thunder that was loud enough to move the earth. Pelting rain started falling, as if the waves attacking the ship didn't produce enough water for them to endure. There! Val yelled. Behind you! Willow twisted around and saw the beast. Snake-like in appearance and dark blue or black in color to match its surroundings, the beast rose out of the sea, dwarfing the Faroof. There were screams from behind Willow, but she couldn't take her eyes off of the sea monster. Its intelligent, dark blue eyes glared at her ship, mad that the ship had dared cross its waters and wake it from its slumber. With another horrible screech, it flicked its tail, sending more water onto the ship. The water flowed across the deck. The only thing keeping her on her feet was that she still held onto the main mast. Tell it to go away, Val ordered. What? Are you crazy? You can talk to animals. It might listen to you. Or kill us all, Willow said, reluctantly releasing the mast. Willow took a few drunken steps toward the beast. Stop! Leave us in peace! Those intelligent eyes locked onto Willow's, and with malice intent, the beast thumped its tail again, sending more water over the rails. Stop, or I'll make you stop! Willow yelled. The beast threw its head back, and a screech left its mouth. Great! Now it's laughing at me! You'll have to use the sea monster spell, Val said. It's the only way. What spell? Val asked as another wave poured over the deck. This one knocked her off her feet. It was so forceful. Her head bounced off the deck and she saw some stars, but the yells from her shipmates had her crawling back to the main mast and pulling herself back to her feet. You read about it in the book. Book? What book? Willow asked as she heard the ship creak and groan in an unnatural way. The Book of Ivy! What other book have you been reading? Val asked, his voice sounding more panicked every second. Book of Ivy, Willow repeated. Right. As Willow tried to remember anything and everything that she'd read about sea monsters. You'd think she'd have remembered something like that. The beast let out another screech and flicked its tail a third time, this time harder than before. By now, Willow couldn't tell where the sea started and the ship ended, for there was so much water everywhere. We've got to abandon ship! Hawk yelled, wading toward Willow. Get the others and leave, Willow yelled back. I'll hold it back. No! We all leave or we all stay! Hawk argued, more water pouring over them. Leave! She bellowed. Get them to safety! The roar of the sea, the booming of the thunder, and the unworldly screeches of the sea monster made it impossible to carry on a conversation, let alone an argument. Hawk opened his mouth, but the sea monster ended any further arguments. Its tail, which had been harmlessly thrashing about in the sea, finally hit the ship, breaking off a chunk of one of the masts and carving a hole into the ship. The ship was now taking on water faster than before. Willow knew the ship was going to sink, and they'd all die if they didn't get off fast. Then, before either of them could do more than stare at the damage, the sea monster dipped its head and chomped into the top of the main mast, snapping it in half. Go now! Willow screamed as they both distanced themselves from the now damaged mast. The sea monster was happily munching on the wood, as if it were a crunchy breadstick. Willow pushed Hawk when he only stared at the sea monster with inexpressible horror and fright. Get yourself killed and I'll kill you! He yelled, snapping out of the trance he'd been in. Then he was pulling her in his arms, kissing her hard, and releasing her so fast she wasn't sure it had actually happened. Focus! Val ordered. The spell! The spell! Right, Willow said, shifting through her memories. She desperately searched for the spell she had supposedly read about as she waded closer to the sea monster. How does it start? I just can't remember it, Willow asked frantically as the ship started to list. Willow had to grab the remnants of the mainmast to stay on her feet before the ship leveled out momentarily. By all the powers of the universe, by both the powers of the fire and ice, I commandeth... Right, Willow said, cutting Val off. I remember now. Glancing behind her, she saw a small rowboat being tossed around by the waves as it tried to get to shore. Seeing her friends were out of danger, Willow turned her attention to the sea monster, which had also just spotted the boat. Clearing her throat, she said in a loud and commanding voice, By all the powers of the universe, by the powers of the fire and the ice, the earth and the waters, I commandeth you, monster of the sea, to leave my sight at once. At Willow's words, the sea monster turned its full attention back to Willow. It screeched in anger and thrashed its tail. The massive tail, thicker than the oldest tree trunks in existence, came down a few yards from Willow, badly cracking the already splintered ship. Willow almost fell over, but she caught her balance and continued the spell. Spread the word across the seas to your children and their children to never disturb me or mine again. Unending lightning, almost brighter than the sun when it is at full strength, lit up the sky, revealing every inch and detail of the beast for Willow's eyes. The continuous explosions of thunder drowned out the beast's screams of outrage, but strangely didn't cover up Willow's words. Now be gone from this! The sea monster dove at Willow, trying to stop her words. With its mouth opened, it attacked the spot Willow was standing next to the mainmast. Willow dived out of the way seconds before the beast would have gotten her. What was left of the mainmast and the deck holding it onto the boat weren't so lucky, however. The sea monster reared back with the mast in its mouth, this time not taking pleasure at the destruction it had created. Water was rushing over the deck, not letting up for even a moment. The ship tilted horribly. The hole the sea monster's tail had made filled with water, sinking the ship quicker than Willow believed was possible. Willow grabbed a nearby barrel and climbed on top of it, trying to keep herself above the water. Finish the spell and get off this sinking death trap! Val yelled, sounding terrified. You have been listening to From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. Read, recorded, mastered, encoded, and produced by Colbyjack.net. This work is released under a Creative Commons 3.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike license. Do what you want with it, just don't try to profit from it. Heaven knows we can't. If you have any questions, comments, or rants you wish to share with us, we can be reached at Colbyjack at Colbyjack.net. That's COLBYTRAX @COLBYJACK.net. Yep, I sing it too. If you want to follow the exploits of Trisha in Twitterland, just search for Lady Trisha W on Twitter, or follow the ever-dashing, courageous, hardworking, intelligent, and immensely humble Colbyjack on the Twitters as well. If you find that you can't just wait to find out what will happen with Willow, the strong dude and the annoying dude, be heartened to know that From the Flames is available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords, as well as from our little shop. Didn't you know about our little shop? Why, yes, we have a little shop located at shop. That's shop.colbyjack.net. That's shop.colbyjack.net. Yeah, real original there. There you will find the latest ebook versions of all our works in both Mobi and ebook, all DRM-free, as well as audiobook versions of such works as Firmware Hijacked and Proxy, as well, naturally, as well as From the Flames. The audiobooks differ from the podcasts in that the headers and bumpers only run once, and the episodes are grouped in hour-long episodes for easy burning to CD or for downloading on the go. If you find you don't need any stuff, but just want to thank us monetarily for our efforts here, just head on over to Colbyjack.net, select either audio or visual, and look for the donate button located on the blog roll. Well, anyway, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week, and remember to be fabulous.